Om Sai Namo Namaha Shri Sai Namo Namaha Sadhguru Sai Namo.
Sairam, for Ladies' Day, we have our sister Srilakshmi here to share the amazing dreams she's had with Swami. Sister?
Sai down to continue with his stories. I would like to share something about my son, Saitej. When he was born, he was not named as Saitej. Within me inside, I had the desire that Swami should name him, because in my family, everybody Swami had named, pretty much like 7 to 10 names, Swami had named in our family. And my son was the one who was breaking the chain, because he was born here and we had to name him immediately. But Swami came in my dream and he actually made me ask him, that I want Swami, please name my son. And for that, Swami replied, Saitej. So we changed that name. It was quite a bit of process, but miraculously, with his divine grace, it happened, and my son's name now is Saitej. And I also would like to share how Swami took care of him, and he proved that our children are not our children; they are his children. So during his middle school time, we had a regular annual checkup that we had to take him to the doctor and get his vaccinations and all that. During the checkup, a doctor mentioned that there were abnormal heartbeats per minute for my son. And so hearing that, I was just praying to Swami, what is this? Suddenly hearing such a news, just when we take him for a regular checkup, it was quite a bit of little anxiety. Of course, any parent would feel the same. So we got many other tests done, and there were thousands of irregular heartbeats per day, so which was a little bit of scary. So he was on Holter monitor, like for one whole week they would put on the monitor and he should put it on, and we would note down the activities that he does. So, and then give it back, and they would probably analyze how many heartbeats are irregular and how many are regular and things like that. And they were going on for some time, and all of a sudden, I was praying hard to Swami, and all of a sudden, I had a dream. Our whole family was there, and the dream was kind of, it was a big hall. It was something like, Anantapur College, our prayer hall kind of a dream. Kind of a hall in the dream. And Swami came and blessed our family, my son, my husband, and me. And somehow, when I woke up in the morning, that day was the doctor's appointment. We were actually supposed to, go and give the Holter monitor back after 1 week of, recording the Holter monitor. And when I woke up, I just woke up with a very positive energy, and I just felt once and for all, they're gone. The irregular heartbeats are gone, and my son is like completely normal. I just woke up with that feeling, and with this divine grace. Had so much positive energy, and well, we went to the doctor. We, for the checkup, and we submitted the Holter monitor. And I just before stepping into the doctor's office, when we were getting down in the parking lot in the car, I told them, "Don't worry, everything will be fine. You will not even have one single irregular heartbeat." I just said that. Actually, I didn't share my dream with them, but I had that positive energy, so I just told them, and then we went inside, and lo and behold, with this Swami's divine grace, not a single irregular heartbeat. And ever since, my son has been very hale and healthy, and every year now he's like 21 years old, and this was in middle school, and every year we do a checkup, the annual checkup. He's been perfectly fine, and this shows that our children are his children, and he will take care, and his divine grace is all that we need. And even if we were to undergo certain karma, his divine grace can wipe off. Baba used to come in my dreams, as I mentioned, and this was one of the most auspicious dream that I ever had, and it was a life-changing dream for me. in that dream, I actually had, my neighbor's home. It was in the dream, it was my neighbor's home, and it was their basement. And Swami was there in their basement. At that time, they were actually getting their basement done, and they were Americans. And there were a lot of people in their hall, and Swami's chair was placed right at the place where we would go up the stairs from the basement. So everybody was standing in the line, and each one was taking Padnamskar, and they were going upstairs. So my turn came, and I asked him some few personal questions, and then I went up. After that, then Swami also came up, everybody came up, and then we came out of their home, and we went into the driveway. Swami was standing in the driveway, and he was actually looking at the clouds on the sky, and he was telling, go away, don't trouble people, go away, don't trouble people, go away, don't trouble people. He said that 3 times in English. And then I walked from their home to my home in the grass, and then as I was coming, I was just peeping from my porch and thinking, oh Baba, please come to my home also. With that feeling of inviting him to my home, I woke up. A few months later, a sudden thunderstorm started, and it became very cloudy, it became dark, and all of a sudden there was big lightning, huge thunders, and we felt like a big lightning thunderbolt sound, and the whole house kind of got shook. And so I closed all the blinds immediately, and I saw the picture frame got lit up. We happened to go to California Disney World, and there we bought one picture frame of a Disney picture frame where it would light up with the batteries. So when I bought it, it came with the batteries, and I think when I traveled back, I probably pushed that button or something, or the button got pushed. So the batteries all got discharged, and when I came home, they didn't turn on. The batteries were all drained out. So, but I had placed that picture frame in the table next to the window. So I was like, what happened? Then I didn't even realize actually it was the lightning that came and charged the batteries and that got lit up. It didn't even strike me. It could probably be the lightning. And then meanwhile, my neighbor came and they saw smoke coming, the big, huge smoke behind my home. So they came and knocked the door, and they asked, "Did you check? Is everything okay? There is a big, ball of smoke coming out behind from your house." So I immediately went back and opened the deck door, and I saw it was actually coming from my house behind me in another neighborhood. In between, there were like big, huge trees, very bulk that I could not really see the house, but I could see the smoke and a little bit of fire from that house. So immediately, I went to my neighbor's house, the American lady. She and her little child was at home too. And she said, I felt the same thing. And she has big glass windows. And from her house, we could see very clearly that house behind our house, it got totally burnt. It was almost like halfway on fire already. So she called 911. And by the time 911 came, then she started actually talking to me about her personal things, and that made sense why Swami was actually in her basement, taking care of them as well. And meanwhile, I realized that I had left my son home, so I ran back, and by then, like a lot of people were coming, and they were people coming from offices or coming out of the houses. It was kind of a little bit havoc. Then as I was coming back from her house to my house, I just felt like, oh my God, I experienced this somewhere. Like as I was walking through the grass, then suddenly I remembered the dream that I had. And Swami and the people were there on her driveway. Swami was there, and Swami was telling the fire to go away, ball of fire in the sky. And luckily, very amazingly, only in that house, nobody was there. All the houses, they were, moms and children. And even if with the lightning was struck to the big trees behind our house, the trees could catch fire just like that. And all the houses over there could have got fire because they were so close to the house. And actually, some of the branches fall into my deck too. They were that close, trees, huge trees. So I just felt like, I was so amazed. I came home and my son was actually crying. So I held him, I hugged him, and then I realized that lightning had actually struck my house too, because the batteries were, charged up. The batteries charged up, and the photo frame was lighting. So that is the main proof that the lightning had struck. And I believe, it is 100% true. It's just that Swami's picture to the wall, backside of my house, it saved us, and it saved all the houses and neighboring houses, and nobody was injured. It's just the house was gone, but they rebuilt the house in a year, so which is okay. So that was the main dream that really changed my entire life. So like that, so many miracles and dreams that came through. And with all these experiences, he taught only one thing: to have faith and trust in him and in his timings, and surrender to him at all circumstances. And then whenever just pray and connect with him. Prayer is not something that you go to the prayer room and pray. When you're happy, you pray. When you're sad, you pray. When your illusion of emotions take over you, angry, frustrated, sad, stressed out, happy, delighted, whatever you're going through, just connect with him. Don't lose that connection. That's what I learned. And when you surrender that way, your story becomes his story. And when it is his story lives on forever. Thank you for watching. Sai.
सर्वस्वरूपान